And I'm speaking because I'm the father of a 3-year-old daughter with asthma, and my wife is also allergic to cigarette smoke. And when we first arrived in Bowling Green over a year ago, there wasn't a whole lot of selection in restaurants. We went into one Western restaurant I remember, won't name the name, it starts with a P and ends with an Eats a Hut. And we asked if they allowed smoking, and the waitress said, "Yeah, this is Bowling Green." And I took that in a very negative way, and I hope that has a negative impact on a lot of people.
Have the whole commission in place, the mayor, 4 commissioners, who can deal with it, whether it's yes or no. That we have 5 people, solidarity, who can deal with all the questions, complications, any concerns that the public might have, and have it, get it more solidified, so that, you know, if we're 0 for 2 questions tonight on having answers. Distance, who's going to get cited, who, you know, and all that stuff needs to be known before we go yes or no. So I would humbly ask you to abstain tonight and have it, bring it up again. This is not a burning, you know, it's not a burning house. It's not a fire that has to be put out tonight.
The Supreme Court has ruled on this issue. The Kentucky Supreme Court has indicated that local communities do have the ability to make decisions like this. I've heard, not just this evening, that at other times, that we should pass an ordinance that says somebody's either smoking or non-smoking. Then in the same argument very often, not always, but in the same argument very often, they will then turn around and say that government should not have the ability to legislate what a private business owner does. But legislating whether it's smoking or non-smoking and requiring them to hang a sign is doing just that. And lastly, I want to speak to an issue. Judge Baker, who I think left, Roger Miller, who contributed, as he mentioned during the last meeting, and previously to my daughter when she was ill, are veterans. I'm not a veteran. I don't know what that's like. I can't even begin to try to imagine what it's like to be a veteran. But if any of the education that I've received in my 40 years on this earth is accurate, it was that wars and military actions were engaged in the interest of democracy.
After 24 days in this seat, how decisions of this body affect this community, and I don't take those lightly. And I've made my decision to support this family. That's all I have to say.
But I do not feel that I have a right, just because I've been fortunate enough to be a city commissioner here for 1 or 2 years, have that right to tell someone what they can and cannot do on their property. I think these gentlemen that have spoken here has hit the nail right on the head. Now, where do we stop infringing on individuals' rights? So my position is, as it has always been, I'm going to vote no on this thing.
Their patronage, because all of those people who were allergic to smoke, who couldn't come in, the friend of mine who wants to take his kids bowling but can't because, or his grandkids bowling but can't because of the smoke, all of those people are now going to feel free to go to any of the facilities. That is not a factor. They now have the freedom. They have the right to go any place they want to, whether they have an allergy against smoking, whether they have asthma, whether they have any kind of a personal preference against smoking, they have that right. And so I will support this measure, and you know, I think that ultimately Bowling Green will be a better place for it.